Hello everyone, I'm Antonis Andronikakis, Communications Manager at Reframe Food. Welcome to our Smart Droplets Project podcast series. Smart Droplets focuses on reducing pesticide and fertilizer use by integrating advanced technologies. It uses a holistic solution by combining cutting-edge technologies through innovative approaches aiming for crop care efficiency and environmental sustainability. Today, I'm delighted to have with us here at Thessaloniki the project manager of the Agricultural University of Athens, Kalliopi Kounani. Kalliopi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Adonis.
We're happy to have you here, and I'm sure that we will cover a lot of interesting topics today. So, let me start this conversation by asking you to talk us a little bit more about the core concept of the Smart Droplets project.
For sure, thank you very much for having me. About Smart Droplets, we started back in September of 2022, and the idea behind the project is that we wanted to achieve the European Green Deal goals for utilizing technologies such as AI, data, and robotics. So behind this whole idea, we wanted to have this project in order to reduce the use of resources such as water, to reduce the fertilizer and pesticide use throughout Europe, and combine these innovative core elements of the project in order to achieve this.
What a promising start for our conversation, but I wouldn't be a good host if I wouldn't ask you about your role as a coordinator, and of course I will ask you to guide us through the consortium. Who are the people behind the project?
Thank you very much for this question. Smart Droplets has many great partners throughout Europe. We are consisting of 6 countries all around Europe. We have our partners from Wageningen University from the Netherlands. Moving down into the map, we have Agriculture from France. In Spain, we have 2 organizations. One is EURICAT and the second one is called FEMAC. In Lithuania, we have our partners from AgriFood Lithuania. Moving on into Serbia, we have the Vislor Laboratories. And of course, from Greece, we have 3 organizations. We have Reframe Food, of course. We have Agroma, which is an industry for all the agricultural machinery. And we have the Agricultural University of Athens. The coordination team is into the Agricultural University of Athens.
About your role?
As a coordinator of the project with the AU18, the Agricultural University of Athens team, we are working on the project in order to make sure that all the communications between the partners are efficient. We want to, of course, achieve what we said we're going to do into the project. We work as a mean of communication between the project and the European Commission. And of course, in order to make sure that we will achieve our goals, we are counting all the milestones, we're taking into account the deliverables that we need to submit to the European Commission, and of course, working for the reporting periods that actually provides the funding for the project, for each year of the project.
How many partners are there at the consortium, if I'm not mistaken? 9?
Yes, 9.
Okay,
partners.
so we're talking about a multidisciplinary consortium, and that's understandable since we're talking about a Horizon Europe project, but a lot of job that has to be done by fewer partners,
Exactly.
right? Okay, so let's move on to the main dish of our conversation, the technologies. So what are the different technologies developed in the Smart Droplets project, and how are these technologies integrated into it?
The core idea, as already mentioned, is that we want to have this autonomously navigated tractor that will have the different components of the Smart Droplet solution. These components are the digital twin. So the digital twin part is all the knowledge of the whole system. We are putting into the digital twin all the knowledge we get from the fields, from the pilots that we have in Spain and in Lithuania, in order to make our solution smarter and even more efficient. So we have the digital twin from the one part, and then we have some other parts, such as this autonomous tractor that actually is a tractor that can guide itself in the field autonomously. That means without a driver.
I had a question for that, but you will already answer it. So
Okay.
it's a driverless tractor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
exactly.
impressive.
Yeah, it's something that we're very proud of, and the partners from Euricat from Spain are behind this work, of course, partners from France and Agriculture. Another main component of the smart droplet solution is the direct injection system, which is a real-time mixing of the chemical compounds that need to be sprayed into the field in real time. This is something that is very, very promising, and it's not very common into the market right now.
I see.
Because there are some problems that we're solving right now throughout the project. And the last part is the vision system that we have, the perception unit, that gives all the vision, like the tractor can see through this perception unit, what's in front of it, if there are any diseases, if there are any weeds, so we can actually integrate all the parts of the spraying, of the digital twin into this holistic approach.
So that's quite an impressive array of technologies, but as we know, a technology won't stand unless it brings some benefits for the end user, and in this case, for the farmers. And I'm sure that many people who are watching us now, and especially the farmers, would ask you, what are you doing to ensure that these technologies will actually work?
This is a great question. So first of all, we want as a project to have a positive impact into the environment by reducing the chemical compounds used into the fields, into the wheat fields, and also the apple fields that we have, the apple orchards in Spain and Lithuania. So we have these demonstrators in order to make sure that we're actually having a positive impact. These are the pilots that we're demonstrating our work, and we're actually showing that the project is doing what it says that we'll do to reduce the chemical compounds used in agriculture. The other aspect of the project is that we want to make sure that we're not putting in danger the health of the farmers. As you know, the farmers have to do these spraying operations very often into the season, and what we're doing through the autonomous tractor, the retrofitted tractor, what we're doing is that we're actually saving the farmer not being into the place of the spraying operations, which means that we're not putting their health status into danger.
I think that all this that you've discussed and shared with us is very important. I mean, the health aspect of the farmer. So two pilots to convince the more skeptical ones, one would say. That's great. But I want to say something else. Smart Droplets offers more than just a technological solution, doesn't it? I mean, I know that you have a great initiative called the Smart Droplets Academy, and I would like you to tell us more about this initiative.
Exactly. We have the hard technological parts that have to do with AI, data, and robotics, but we also need to make sure that these technologies that are very sometimes difficult for some people to grasp, we need to make sure that we will have the means of transferring the knowledge to the people that actually can benefit from these technologies. This is something that we're doing through the Smart Droplets Academy, and this is actually a knowledge base that people can find through the Smart Droplets official website. And if someone visits the website, can see that we're having webinars, also on-site visits, for training stakeholders such as farmers, such as people from companies, researchers and students.
So it is focused more on professionals of the agricultural domain, right?
Exactly. We want to make them more familiar with the technologies that we're using into the project. So we have webinars for weed detection into wheat fields. We have different other parts such as the autonomous retrofitted tractor. How can someone make autonomous small robots, and it depends on the specialization of each organization that does the webinar. And we're very, very proud of this initiative.
So, apart from the technological aspect, you have also the educational and the aspect of professional expertise, if I must say. And kudos for that, for these great ideas.
Thank you.
I think that we're approaching towards the end of our discussion. So what is expected from me to ask is, what are the challenges in the development of the project so far, and what are the next steps for the project?
This is a great closing question. So about the challenges we're facing as a project, as already mentioned, we are having different components of this solution that are very, very high-tech. We have the AI compound, we have the computer vision, we have the direct vision system. These are compounds that have never been brought together. So for us to bring all these technologies together is a challenge by itself. This is the reason why we actually are working on this project, and this is the reason why it's very, very innovative. So for us, bringing all these sources together and having a holistic approach that works and have many, many benefits for its users is a challenge. About the next steps, we are on the way of finishing the first demonstrator year. So we have our 2 demonstrator sites. We have Spain and Lithuania. And in these demonstrator sites, we want to actually see our holistic solution working. So all the compounds of the Smart Droplet solution need to be there and actually work in order to deliver all these amazing results that we want to see. These are the next steps for now, and yeah, let's see what the future brings.
So still many milestones to be achieved, right? I wish you success to that.
Thank you very much.
We were very glad to have you here to share with us all these interesting insights. So I want to thank you, Kalliopi, for today.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to follow our social media accounts and, of course, our YouTube channel. Stay smart.